What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be talking about a brand new light from Olight, the Odin Turbo, Olight's first LEP light. Now, before we do that, I want to mention my Patron Supporters. Thank you guys very much. Because of you, I can get ammo and all kinds of cool stuff to review here on the channel. You want to support the channel, all you got to do is go down to the link in the description and sign up. There's some exclusive content over there and some other perks as well. If you're interested, all you got to do is click the link. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa that I really like to support. It's a YSS, it's a youth shelter, and those kids could use your help. So please go down there and donate a few bucks to those kids. Now, we're going to get back to the Olight review, and then we'll talk a little bit about the sale that they're having as well. Traditionally, I like to pair these reviews with the sale. That way, if you guys do want the thing, you can go down there and save some money on it. The Olight Odin was initially a light that I reviewed last year that I really enjoyed. It was Olight's real step into the long-range weapon light sort of category as far as flashlights go, and I think they've really one-upped themselves with the Olight Turbo. Now, the Olight Turbo, as you can see here, uses a different technology. It doesn't use LED, it uses LEP, which is kind of interesting in itself. LEP stands for Laser Excited Phosphor, which means instead of using an LED module that emits light directly out of the front, it uses a blue laser that is first bounced off a piece of phosphor, and then white light is emitted directly out of the front. Or at least that's what Google tells me when I do my research to find out what the hell an LEP light is before I started doing the testing. Now, the advantage to this, at least that I've seen, is going to be throw. The throw on this is ridiculous. Maybe not quite as advertised, but pretty damn close. And if you've looked at the advertised range of this at 1,000 yards, that's actually pretty impressive. So we got the Odin here, Turbo, at 10 yards. This is the weak beam. That's the high beam. Now you got to remember this light is designed specifically for throw and throw only. So here up close, it doesn't like splash anywhere. However, as we go back, you'll see that the beam stays consistent for a really, really long way. All right, so now we're out here at 50 yards, and as you can see, beam pattern a little bit bigger, obviously. It's enough to cover a grown person at this point, but you can see still very intense, very easy to see everything. If there was a guy down there, you could easily see what was in his hands. Weapon identification is very important. Now we're here at 80 yards. Still the same visibility, no problems at all. Again, if there's a weapon in one of those target's hands, well, I'd be a little concerned because it's a steel target. But if there was, we could see it, identify it, and smoke him. All right, now we're on the front porch here, and we're gonna go as far as we can go. We've got 1,000 yards to reach out this distance, which is why we're going this way. So that first pole there is 100 yards. Well, no, it's like 50, 75 yards. The second pole there is like 150. They go 75 and 75, don't they? Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just laser range finded that house down there this morning, and it was 1,050 yards. So just go down the poles until we cannot see one anymore. I mean, that is a long way. Not 1,000 yards, which is nice actually, because on the advertising for this light, it said it cut through fog and stuff like that, which we actually have tonight, which is really nice. I can see a solid 600 or so. That looks about 600 yards to me when it cuts off. Maybe 700. What do you think? The road down there is 500.
I'm not very good with quick mental math.
When you get the Olight Odin Turbo, first thing you'll notice is it does have the tail cap switch, and it does have two modes here. So you're going to have a medium and then a high, or low and high, however you want to look at it. But the throw on this is equally as impressive. I mean, it's further in low than most lights are on high, so medium and high is a pretty good description. Now, one thing you have to remember, this is a long-range light, so you're not going to get a lot of splash. If you're looking for like a home defense light, this is probably not the one you're looking for. This is more for search and rescue, long-range hunting, tactical use, maybe law enforcement, stuff like that. Or if you just want to see some shit from 1,000 yards away and you want it to be small enough to put in your pocket or mount on a rifle, this is a really good way to go as well. So it's got two modes. It's got a tail cap switch here. It also comes with Olight's tape switch here. And how that works is it basically just sticks in there and you click it on there. And you can't pull it off via cord here, but it does come off relatively easily if you just pull this like this, because you're just pulling this little cap back and it comes off. Now, whether that's durable enough for tactical use, I'm honestly not sure. I haven't ran the tape switch in a while, so I figured I'd give it another go. And I'm still kind of as lukewarm on it as I was before. I'm not really a tape switch guy, but it did work relatively well on this setup. Usually I just like to push the button in the rear, push the button in the rear, and that seems to work pretty well for me. Now, one of the things that I like, aside from the flashlight, is going to be the mounting system here. We've talked about that before. It actually offers a lot of options when it comes to mounting, and it offers a lot of versatility as well. So all you have to do is you have to push this button in here, and it moves the locking block there. And then you just stick the light in and it's locked. And if you want to completely lock it, you just turn the button so it can't be inadvertently unlocked there. Now you can put it in that way. You can put it in this way if you want to blind yourself, or however you want to do it. You just switch it around, of course. Or you could even put it in on the side here, which offers a lot of mounting options if my dumbass can actually get it in there. There we go. So why you'd want to mount it that way, I'm not sure. Maybe you have it on your rail. Maybe you like it canted a certain way. But it's pretty cool because there's not a lot of mounts that have the ability to do this. So obviously it mounts on a Picatinny mount. So if you have one of the cool, slick, whiz-bang Magpul ones like I have, you can use that. Or you can just put it on the top rail also, although I'm doing a magnified optic review on this rifle also, so I didn't want it to get in the way, so that's why it's on the side. Now, the Olight Odin Turbo not only has a lot of range, but it's also relatively durable, as you can see right here. So we're gonna leave it on. We're actually not gonna leave it on when we throw it, because this thing's so damn powerful that if it hits me in the eyes when it flips around, I'm not gonna like that. So I'm gonna turn it off, we're gonna throw it, and we'll pick it up, turn it back on. That was a solid 20 feet. And it landed right on the bevel. Boop. Yeah, we'll leave it on. We'll live dangerously. Still on?
Mm-hmm.
One more throw. There we go. All right, we're gonna drop it on the brick, shoulder height. My shoulder is taller than most, and it seems to have survived. We'll drop it on the brick one more time. Good to go. Now, the specs on the Olight Turbo are going to be 330 lumens on high and then 90 lumens on low. It actually doesn't seem like a lot by comparison to something like an X300, for example, which has 1,000 lumens. However, this only goes about 100 yards, whereas the Odin Turbo here goes about 1,000. So throw is really the selling point on this. Now, it's waterproof. We tested that. The length is about 6 inches, bezel diameter is 1.2 inches, and the overall weight is about 8 ounces. A little bit bigger than your average weapon light like an X300 or something like that. However, more than capable on something like a rifle. Very similar in size to something like a Surefire Scout Light, although this has a significant advantage in range on that particular optic. Now, like most of the Olights, this one actually has this same charging capability where it just comes with a magnetic charger that you can put in a USB port, and you just stick it on there and it can recharge the system, so you have no need to buy another battery. You just simply charge it with your phone charger, your laptop, or whatever, and when you're done, you just pop it right off. It's really easy to use, and it's more of a bomb-proof system, in my opinion, than something like either replaceable batteries, which is, you know, bad for the environment, bad for your wallet, but it also just pops in and off there so easy that when you're not using it, you can charge it. This entire system is really easy to assemble and disassemble and change, which I think is really unique, and I'm honestly just a big fan of the way that they've put this system together. Now, we did not not only do the durability testing on this, which means we threw it in the air a bunch of times, dropped it on the brick a bunch of times, stuck it in water, but we also shot this not on just this rifle, but we shot this on the MPX as well, which is footage we just don't have for some reason. But I like to test these lights a lot. And what I mean by that is Olight comes in at a relatively budget price by comparison to a lot of other companies, so I want to make sure they're durable before I decide to recommend them. And I feel like we do that every single time we test these. We don't do Olight reviews very often, but when we do, I usually do ones on the lights that I'm really excited about. And when I do the testing, I actually test them. I see a lot of these videos where people will just go up and list the specs off the box and then tell you to go get the thing. That's not the way I work. I had to go out and make sure not only did I shoot a rifle with this on it, but I shot it a lot, and I shot it on 11.5 pistol with a muzzle brake on it. I actually changed and put a muzzle brake on it to make sure that the blast did not break the bezel during testing, because I've actually seen that on high quality lights, even like X300s, for example. I broke 2 of these with that exact same test. So I wanted to make sure that it worked for what it was designed for, and we piled off a couple hundred rounds with this 11.5 with this thing attached right up next to the muzzle, and no issues whatsoever. Then of course we did the drop testing, water testing, and everything else, and then we decided to bring it to the table and tell you whether it's good enough, and I think it is good enough for defensive use or for hunting, especially for hunting, which is the particular niche that I think it fits in the best, or search and rescue, something like that. Now if you're interested in getting the Odin, like I said, the sale is May 27th, 7 p.m. to May 28th at 11:59 p.m. So you got about 24 hours or so to get these 28% off to 35% off, depending on the options that you choose. And if you're interested in that, you can click the link in the description of the video and it'll bring you right to it. You can get 35% off. That's a pretty good deal, all things considering. I mean, you're looking at a total for a light that goes 1,000 yards for about $180. A lot cheaper than the competition, and particularly with the PL Pro here, an X300 can cost you about double this. You can get this for around $97. If you want anything that is not on the sale and you want 10% off it, there's a code down there as well for you to use that'll get you 10% off anything that's not on the sale. So click that link and it'll take you where you need to go. Now the other thing on the sale is something we have previously reviewed and I'm a big fan of, is going to be the PL Pro. Now it's pretty awesome because Olight sent me another one of these, so I could beat the shit out of this one too and see if this one worked well. You can see all the marks and bang ups and everything because I threw this a bunch of times. We dropped it on the concrete, we dropped it with a gun on it just to make sure the extra weight didn't break the bezel, and this thing continues to function well, which I hope it does because this is actually on a couple of my serious guns. Alright, so we're out here about the 10-yard line. We're in the middle of a thunderstorm here, so hopefully enjoy some of the background sound and or visuals. This is the PL Pro here at 10 yards. I really like that weapon light. On par with the lumens and features of the X300, but it's way less. Move it back 25. Alright, PL Pro. I think the PL Pro actually is a little bit dead. It's normally a little brighter than this. We'll hit the strobe. Are you walking backward?
Yeah, I'm hoping to catch lightning.
Let me know how that goes. My knee hurts so bad you're walking backward faster than I'm walking forward, so probably shouldn't be talking shit.
Add it to the list of skills I have.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Night walking in reverse while filming. The real question is, what job would you apply that would be required?
Well, this one, of course.
I didn't get an application, I don't think. All right, 50 yards. We got the PL2, a little less impressive. However, this is a lighter weight light, not quite as new. All right, so we're gonna do the drop test. We'll do the PL Pro first, the old Valkyrie. What a good name, by the way. Throw it up about 20 yards, pop. Seems to be doing fine. Give her another throw.
This is almost as fun as lighting fireworks.
Is it?
Yeah. It's pretty.
Old knees. Throw another one. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a shoulder height drop test on the brick. Bezel first. Boom. Boom. Take that, Aaron Cowan. The nice part about the PL Pro is that it's like an X300, but it's cheaper and it's easier to mount, and it also has that universal charging system, so you don't have to worry about batteries, and you can use the exact same charger on this as you do on this. So overall, I think Olight's coming in with a bunch of features that people still haven't matched for a price that's a little bit lower, and that's one of the reasons why I think I would easily recommend either of these lights, and I'll continue to use them well after the review. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. Continues the saga of the backwards walking photographer.
Backwards man, I'm the backwards man.
Doing what the backwards man can. In the rain, too.